Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Gunna Fan TV. Hope everybody's doing great. Before I start today's video, I want to take time to just say thoughts and prayers go out to Jamaica. They were hit yesterday with a Category 5 hurricane, which hit the land, made landfall at 185 miles per hour. That wind gust was sustained. So constantly pounding Jamaica with 185 miles per hour wind gust. That's crazy. I was there in 1988 for Hurricane Gilbert, and trust me, this was 10 times worse. And Gilbert was bad, and this is 10 times worse. I still have family down there. My mom and my grandparents are both retired, and they live on the island. And the western end of the island was totally destroyed. So, however you could send support, if you only have, just your thoughts and your prayers, I think that still help because faith move mountains. But within this football community, within this Arsenal community, however we could assist, let's come together and let's do so. Thoughts and prayers. All right, guys, let's get back to the video real quick. Let's talk about Arsenal versus Brighton today at the Emirates in the Carabao Cup. Today we played a very, I don't want to even say second string team, because I don't think it was a second string team. It was more of rotating players and giving players rest. I mean, obviously at the end we did the job, but the first half was very shaky. I was a bit concerned with our defense because we kept getting caught out. And it's unlike the way we defend as Arsenal. But again, keep in mind it was more of player rotation, giving players rest, giving players also the ability to get into the team and play some games, right? So the entire back four, including the goalkeeper, was switched up today. There were changes made in those department. Kepa started in goal. Two center backs was Nkepia and Mascara, and our wing backs was Skelly and Ben White. I mean, the first half wasn't great. We got caught out a couple times. Kepa was great in goal today because he kept us in the game in the first half, and that was key in us moving forward to win the game. So credit to Kepa, played a really good, solid game today. The back four in the first half was shaky, and that was very, very concerning. But I do understand these players probably never played a full game together. Maybe in practice, we don't see what goes on behind closed door when they're practicing. But from what I was seeing, it looks like these players haven't really played together, and that's understandable. I mean, and KPI is coming back from an injury, so this is probably his. Not probably. This is the first start for Arsenal, so this is kind of expected. Players not gelling together; they don't have the chemistry like a Saliba and a Gabriel and Timber and sometimes Kelly and Calafiore, right? But more so Calafiore because he's been having a great season so far. So it's a whole different back line, and I understand. The problem I have is with these commentators and the opposition fans. One commentator today, I was watching on Paramount. I was watching it on Paramount Plus, and this one commentator kept saying, "Oh, this is not good for Arsenal because typically their back line or the defense is solid. They don't get caught out chasing as much. They have control." Bro, what do you? It's a makeshift team. I wouldn't even say makeshift team. Squad rotation. These guys have never played together, so you don't expect the same thing you would see between a Saliba and a Gabriel. You're not going to see between Encapia and um Mascara. And he just kept harping on it. I'm like, bro, shut up. You're not making a point. You're not going to see the same performance. These are two different players playing that position for the first time, really together. But we come to know this stuff from, if you're not an Arsenal fan, the opposition and everyone else will come at Arsenal and say negative things. Just like you're talking about, oh, we're boring and we're just scoring set pieces. And almost every team in the league now is taking long throws and working on set pieces and taking the resumes for set piece coaches. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? First, we are the villains, and now everyone's copying us. So what does that tell you? Anyway, moving into the midfield, we had another change in the midfield with Marino and Waneri, who were playing in that midfield role centrally. And then on the wing, um, you had Eze, and on the other side, you had Max Stauman. The only change to the team, or the only person who remained in the team from the starting lineup was Eze. Everyone else, it was a complete swap for the other 10 players. The midfield didn't look good in the first half. Also, if I'm going to be honest, on the for the wingers, the only bright spark was Max. Max Damon was very attacking. He was very brave. He was taking on players. He was trying to make something happen. And honestly, man, this kid is such a good player. He seems like he has a bright future if he stays grounded and focused and is well coached. And credit to Mikel for not trying to push him into the fray, because that could really, really kill a young player's development. So I feel like at this point, Mikel is really managing him well. For Waneri, let me touch on Waneri a little bit. I don't know. I think he was trying too hard. He did score today. And I'm going to talk about the second half, but he was just trying a little bit too hard, holding on to the ball a little bit too long, making wayward passes. And I don't think he really had a good game. Same thing with Eze on the other side. He just needs to impose himself some more into the game as a more experienced player, as a maverick, and that's what we were talking about as Arsenal fans. We were looking for that maverick player, like what Max is doing on the other side. We needed that from Eze today. We need him to take the game by the scruff and just bring the attack to Brighton, but he didn't really do that in the first half, at least. Same thing with Marino. Marino just he isn't a midfielder for me. I don't know, man. I don't want to say negative things about our team because we're winning and we're doing well, but it's just the midfield just looked like a donut today. It was like nothing in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like it. It's just it was not even boring. It was just bad. Um I almost forgot about Norgard because it seems like he wasn't even playing. Like he was also in that midfield. And it was just so bad. It was just he was losing the ball, making bad passes. Um, Defenders were covering for him. It was the second half got better. That's the only good thing. We won the game in the second half, right? So I forgot the name of the 17-year-old striker. Um, I mean, he didn't have a bad game, but he didn't impose himself either. Got a chance in the second half and he missed. But let me touch on the second half. Second half was much better. Defensively, we looked like we had a better chemistry coming in to the second half. We were communicating, we weren't chasing, we were getting caught high. So whatever was said in the back, or maybe they just needed time to gel a little bit more together. And that happened for me in the second half. The midfield kind of grew into the game. Eze grew into the game. Obviously, Waneri scored. Skelly grew into the game. So overall, I felt like the team got better in the second half, and we were able to score a goal. Skelly scored that goal in the second half. But still, I don't think he had a great game. I don't think he even had a good game, but he scored. So that kind of took some of the pressure off him. But he was just trying to be a little bit too hard for me, and I think Eze wasn't trying hard enough. Max Diamond kind of faded in the second half. They didn't give him the ball enough, and eventually he was taken up. But I think for me, you know, he had a shot for the man of the match. If it wasn't for Kepa, I feel like for me, Kepa was the man of the match because he kept us in the game in the first half, and continuing into the second half, he continued to play well, and he was there to stop a couple dangerous moments for us. But overall, we'll take the win. We move on to the quarterfinals. I think the draw is tonight, probably out by the time of this video, and we'll see who will play. Liverpool is out, City is still in, Newcastle is in, Chelsea is still in. So we may get one of those teams. But I feel like we could win it, man. We have a good enough team to win it. At the end of the day, the kids, I wouldn't even say the kids, but this rotational team, if for lack of better words, they won it today for us, and that's good. So we got the opportunity to kind of rest some of the senior players for the game this weekend, so we can continue our winning form and stay atop of the Premier League. So good win. We'll take it. We're on to the next round, and we'll see what happened this weekend. Hopefully, some of our players that were out today are able to come back in. Second half, we were able to use some of the senior players to kind of finish off the game, and that's good. We didn't have to really use them that much. We gave them a run out, so they'll be fit for the next game. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Remember Jamaica again, guys, in your thoughts and in your prayers.